Key points from officials today. Don't believe everything you see on social media. There's a lot of fake information going around.
Yeah, with Immigration and Customs Enforcement's wrap-up of yesterday's operation. Let's check in with Dave Zavolinsky. He's at the alert desk to unpack some of this. Dave?
Yeah, Brian and Aaron, today ICE gave an update on what they found. There were just one business where agents worked, Glen Valley Foods. They say more than 70 illegal aliens were detained, 76 to be exact, and a person from Honduras was arrested after he allegedly pulled a weapon and assaulted federal agents. The agency says some of those detained had active local warrants, prior drunk driving convictions, and some had previously been deported. Many now face federal charges, from fraud and misuse of visas to permits and other documents. This afternoon, Governor Jim Pillen released a statement on the immigration operations in Omaha. He said, quote, "Under the Biden administration, the country's immigration policy absolutely failed the American people for 4 years. We have to address the issue of illegal immigration, and I support the work of our federal partners to ensure that law is followed, and I remain supportive of President Trump's efforts to secure the border." End quote. Reporting from the alert desk, I'm Dave Zavolinsky.
Dave.